What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this and let's have fun with it too. To my first time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with Ndub Podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today. Today, for episode 201, we are picking up where we left off at, and we are going to get it because in episode 201, I'm going to talk about why I had to make a decision of why I had to self-assess and figure out why I was not living my best life at the end of the day. So for those of our first-time listeners, if this is your first episode, I would highly encourage you to go back to the last episode. Go back to the last episode. For my worldwide listeners, thank you for tuning back into me. Again, I appreciate you. We're about to have some fun. And one of the things I just want to do a quick review for those that listen to me. Hey, look, it's really important that you own up to the fact that as an entrepreneur, you have to blend your life. You need to understand how to work both on and in your business. You can't have excuses for all the things that are happening to you is for a reason. And in this, I will say, era of life that you in, look, things are going to happen to you and they're happening to you for a reason. So don't be in denial. So I'm going to start with those three knocks. With those three knocks, remember, I'm going to come back to you. Those three knocks were very important knocks because those knocks were life-changing. Those are knocks that basically will put people in a position to where at a place where, you know, I don't want to divulge too much information because if you want to hear more, I am more than happy to come to you at a conference room, a speaking panel at a fee at your leisure. Just let me know. Hit me up at info@nwebsterllc.com. Yeah. So at these three knocks, you know, people, man, let's just say, your blood pressure can rise. Matter of fact, here's a great story to that. I went to the emergency room and I needed some medicine because my stuff was out, and and I had to get my vitals, and I had one person come to me and they were like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then they were like, I was like, "Yeah." Then the next person came and they were like, "I'll be right back." And then two people came. They're like, "Are you sure you're okay?" I was like, "Yeah." And then they were like, "We'll be right back." And then another person came in and they said, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." So for those that don't know, I'm an internal processor. So I'm just processing things internally. I don't say much. And they say, "Yeah, this is the first time and the only time, seriously, that I got my blood pressure done and everything, and I didn't see the numbers." So my mom's a nurse, and I know what the numbers should be. I know like what it should look like, and they didn't show me my numbers, and they were like, "Okay, so it looks like you should be checked in because it looks like you're gonna have a stroke or a heart attack." I was like, "Yeah, really?" And I don't remember the numbers because I was just focused on like, I just need to get my meds. I got to get home. I got stuff to do. They were like, "Is there some stuff going on in your life?" I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm okay. I had to stay focused because again, I realized that all the choices I made in my life have came to a place where I needed to not make any more excuses. And I need to, and not to say like, you know, like I made bad choices. I just realized, and not to say that there weren't other people out there trying to do other things. I just took full accountability and wasn't going to allow anyone determine my path forward. So when those 3 knocks I came back to those 3 knocks, I'm like, Nathan, why wouldn't you do research of why they were sent to you? People sent people to me because they thought I could help them, because I was going about telling people I could be basically the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. I was singing that before Aloe Black was in the Vancouver, Clark County, Pacific Northwest, until I turned out that I wasn't. Because when those people walked away, I didn't realize it until it happened to me. They had no hope. They were dejected. And to this day, I do wonder what happened to their situation. So for me, those 3 knocks, and along with me not able to Uber, it forced me to become a marketing expert. I had to provide hosting services for my clients. I had to buy domains for my clients. I had to buy marketing services for my clients, because in the world of marketing, you have to buy the services to provide it for your clients. And I wasn't able to Uber anymore. So when I went to my clients, I had to absolutely be 100% certain, which is why I say, don't think you can get free to deliver results for you. So I had to go beyond free. I used free to the highest level, and then I had to execute. And then I had to become an expert in it in a matter of months, because then it was like, oh, there's no more Uber. And so this is where I just beast mode it out. Uber was no longer a place where I was like, hey, I could do this. And if you look at from my Facebook, I wasn't even posting on LinkedIn. I stopped. People would hit me up on Facebook and they would say, hey, can you Uber me? Could you Uber me? This was when Uber, where you couldn't accept tips. You couldn't play music. My phone, my phone would go down because it would get overheated. Like, this was tough. Like, I had to produce results. And this is where, when I was working with the client, and this is where BU came from. I was working with the client, and the client was like, Nathan, look. And I just got into my office, right? This is in 2019. This scenario started in 2015, and these issues went down in 2016. And when I was working with this client said, Nathan, you are in this big office, you're doing all these big things, and wop-de-wop-de-wop. And they were like, I can't perform at your level. You're a big time, big shot, marketing professional, expert, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm looking at them. I'm like, do you not understand that it took me time to get here and I had to work hard at what I did? I'm like, you are already an expert in what you do. It wouldn't be hard. But I realized people are scared to call themselves an expert if they have never done really the work really under themselves, because if they've done it under a company, they can't own it. So when I say be you, do you under your own name, under your own LLC or your sole proprietorship, that's different. But that means you got to move different. That means you own it. We call that means it's an owned media. It's not social media, right? It's not paid media. That's why social media is for free, because they own your stuff, right? Your own media, which is your domain, your website, you own everything on there. So I was telling them, I was like, no, we can do this. Let me work with you. And they were like, they gave me every excuse in the book. I'm just like, oh. And then, other things happen. But then I realized, and I won't use any more stories because I don't want folks to think, oh, is he talking about me? Is he talking about me? I don't want that. I realized folks are scared. Folks are scared to be themselves. I realize folks are scared to put themselves in the position to where they can be a business. Because being a business, again, it's easy to start a business, but when you start, it's work. Like I said, it took me 16 years to identify myself as an entrepreneur. Not only that, I have the reality, the harsh reality as an entrepreneur, that when I applied for a house loan, man, they acted like I was a criminal that is on the run, like I'm Harrison Ford in The Fugitive, like I wasn't worthy to have a house. Because being an entrepreneur is a very dirty, ugly word, term, employment category. When you're applying for a house loan, you don't matter. You don't matter. But yet, in other circles, they're like, oh, you're an entrepreneur. Da, 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 da. But when you're applying for certain things, they don't want to see self-employment. So I tell everybody that wants to be an entrepreneur, I'm like, are you sure? Are you positive? Because let me tell you something. This is not where you kick your feet up on a desk and you get to call the shots. There is no guaranteed paycheck. I had a friend, her name is Carol Parker Wall. She called it, she's been on the show. She says the first thing you pay for when you start a business is your business, and your business will always get paid before you. And the next thing that gets paid is your team, your employees, which is why I don't have not one single employee. As the number one employee is myself, I get paid last. So when I'm using examples and case studies as like true case studies, businesses, I'm like, do you not see Amazon say that they're not profitable? You think that's like a Cinderella story? You think Jeff Bezos is proud of that? You think that's like, oh yeah, he's not profitable, but he's making you like, do you not understand? Like, that is a problem. Like, you think he's really making cash money? So when you are a startup, and like I said, this is a celebratory. I'm happy. This is part two. This is part two of what I was talking about before. When life is giving you the problem of where you shouldn't be in denial of, you looking up to say, this is my 9 to 5. Is your 5 to 9 the same? Or are you just trying to kick back, watch Netflix, eat ice cream, order out, chill, and work on your business a little here, a little there? Do you not see the market changing? Do you not see on social media that stuff is changing? Are you putting yourself out there? Is your funnel at the top of the funnel able to get new customers? Are your customers now ordering from you? Do you have customers? You can say, well, Nathan, you're not talking to me. I'm a nonprofit. That don't matter. That's just an IRS category. Do you have donors? Have you read the 5 life stages of a nonprofit? Are your systems set up to where you have a database and you can get grants every single year? Because there's no reason why you shouldn't be getting grants. Look, nonprofits are, man, let me tell you something. The NFL is one of the most lucrative businesses out there. I can't remember the name of the most lucrative nonprofit. It's I think Pittsburgh or PNC. Oh man, it's a medical facility, but man, they have their own medical insurance. But nonprofits is the oldest institution that is in America, and they make bank. The NFL, all the sports leagues started off as nonprofits, and their business model is still set up as a nonprofit business model. That's not set up as a for-profit. Man, do you not understand that they are still making bank? Look at all these sponsorships. The difference between a college game versus an NFL game, there's more sponsorship, there's more TV commercials. Why? Those are ads. Those are revenue dollars. Do you not understand that's a nonprofit sponsorship model? Look, don't get tricked by the game because you're being entertained. Because, right, we all love a great entertainment, but that's all part of marketing, which is why we love to be entertained, infotained, or educated-tained. Okay? So this is why when it comes to life, and if you are an entrepreneur, and I'll just speak for myself, which is why I'm in part 2. I had to say, Nathan, your excuses suck, bro. You need to take accountability and stop settling. So you may see some shirts, and my sister was here, and she was like, you know what? I like these shirts the best. You say, be you, don't settle, and dream big. Because my nonprofit was just dream big. But now I have shirts, you may see like the dream bit mean the BU, but she likes like the BU, but BU, don't settle, and dream big. Because you first need you need to first not be in denial of who you are. And being who you are, I was in denial when those 3 knocks came to my door when they said, hey, you were supposed to help me. Because those folks that sent them to me, they thought I came across as I was the person, and I was in denial of who I was. And then I was settling on the fact that I wasn't doing more than I should have, because I was happy making my money or doing what I was doing from my 9 to 5, not embracing my 5 to 9. And then I was like, why are you guys complaining? I thought I was good. And I was saying dreaming big, but I wasn't dreaming big. I was dreaming small. But now, as I finally embraced it, I had to take feedback. And it wasn't until life hit me, I had to take accountability. So for you entrepreneurs out there, now, hopefully you ain't entrepreneurs. You got to take accountability and look yourself in the eye and say, hey, look, let me do it with you. If you really want this, I'm not going to use the word I would use with myself. You better go get it. You better go get it. You better tell yourself, look yourself in the mirror. You better be honest with yourself. If you want results, stop playing around. You better go get it. Because let me tell you, when I got those 3 knocks, and then those 3 knocks came from me, that changed my life. That included where Uber said, you're denied. You can no longer do Uber anymore. And for those that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. You can no longer do this no more. So that means there's only one thing I could do. And that means I had to ball out. I had to be all in what I said I was doing, which was funny. There was only 2 things I could do. Be a college professor, which I didn't it didn't pay much. It didn't pay much at all. It was like, but there was no limit on what I can make when I was working for myself. So this is when you better embrace these rejections. You better embrace these obstacles. You better embrace the opportunities in front of you, because sometimes they only happen once. So with that, hit me up at info@nwebsterllc.com. I will love to speak to your group, and I will love to be able to help you in your marketing. Feel free to give me a call. Really, send me the email. Until next time, I wish you nothing but the best. So you dream big and Godspeed. What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this, and let's have fun with it too. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here.